Sticking with this topic of human rights and with some of the decisions made in this country regarding them, I want to move on and talk now about the case of Luis Posada Carriles. This is that Cuban-born Venezuelan national, former CIA agent, who has been linked to bombings in Havana, as well as the downing of an airliner back in the 1970s. Posada has been living quietly with his family in Miami, Florida, since his 2007 release, and just went back on trial in January in a Texas courtroom. But he wasn't tried on terrorism charges. He was tried for perjury, immigration issues. Many people from around the world see this as an insult to the Cuban people, and especially to some of the families of the victims. For more, earlier I was joined by attorney Jose Pertierra. He says the U.S. should extradite Carriles to Venezuela if they want him to be held accountable for his actions.
The evidence is very strong. The prosecutors played for the jurors the tapes of Posada Carriles' own voice, where he admitted being the mastermind of the bombs that exploded in Havana in 1997, where he lamented the fact that one of those bombs killed an Italian by the name of Fabio Di Celmo, because he said the Italian was in the wrong place at the wrong time. But he went on to say on that tape that the jurors heard that we can't stop. He didn't say they can't stop. He said we can't stop. And there are many, many instances during the course of those recordings where Posada Carriles admitted being the mastermind of this campaign of terror in Cuba. Nonetheless, the American jury system is a very complicated and delicate system. It is prone to manipulation by wily defense attorneys, and that's exactly what happened here. If you watch these proceedings, you see that a witness would take the stand, the government would do direct examination for a day, and the defense attorney would have him on the stand for a week and a half, cross-examining him and conducting really a mini trial, character assassination of that particular witness. And it seemed like Posada Carriles wasn't even on trial. That on trial was the New York Times, who interviewed Posada Carriles, Cuba, which sent some of the witnesses and some of the evidence, and the character of the witnesses themselves. And unfortunately, it worked, and Posada Carriles was acquitted. The greatest protection of all is that when he came to the United States illegally in the year 2005, Venezuela filed a request for his extradition. We filed it on June of 2005. And still the United States government has failed to act on that request for extradition, despite overwhelming evidence that he was not only involved, but was the mastermind of the downing of the plane. A spokesman for the Department of Justice, Dean Boyd, said that the United States was very disappointed about the acquittal. And Venezuela would suggest that the United States should not be disappointed. It should instead extradite him to Caracas, and I'm sure their disappointment will be over by the morning. That's the first thing that they should do. The only charges now that are pending against them are in Venezuela for those 73 counts of first-degree murder. That's what the United States should heed. There are 73 counts of first-degree murder pending against this man in Caracas. And the United States has so far not acted on that. Instead of acting on the extradition request, it filed these charges of lying to an immigration officer in the United States. It's really the wrong charges. And I don't think this jury took the case seriously. I mean, you got to remember, this is a border town between Mexico and the United States. And people here, if you tell them you're going to have a 3-month trial because you lied to an immigration officer, they'll laugh at you.